If you want to immigrate to New Zealand or Australia next year in 2026, then this time of the year, Q4 or the fourth quarter, is the best time to start your job search as an international candidate or an immigrant. So in this video, I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why it is such a good time. And then I'm going to show you what you need to do to land your job in 2026. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sorrel's an international career strategist and migration mentor. And during the last few years, I have helped hundreds of international candidates land their dream jobs across the world, especially not applying for jobs online because we know that is so ineffective. So in this video, I'm going to show you why Q4 or the fourth quarter or the last part of the year is such a good time to start your job search, especially in New Zealand. And I'm going to show you what you need to do to land your job in 2026 to get ready for that. So to start with, here are a couple of reasons why it's such a good time. Traditionally in New Zealand and Australia, during the Christmas New Year period, most companies shut down. Most people go on holiday and they shut down for about a month to 6 weeks. Not all of them do, but most of them do. During that time, people go on holiday, they meet other people, and they simply change jobs because we have such a low unemployment rate. It is so easy for us. It is so common for us. It's so familiar to us to just job hop. We just constantly go from one job to another and we don't think anything about it. And during that time, especially people who get paid weekly, like the trades and the blue collar workers, they just find other employers and they leave and they never come back to work. So employers dread this time of year because they know when they start up again, their staff would just have disappeared, gone work for someone else. That's one reason. The second reason is that projects and big projects, especially in the construction industry and the IT industry, start up towards from April to July or the early part of the next year. So during the end of the previous year, these companies and the recruiters who are recruiting for those contract work or the projects, they fill their pools. The reason they fill their pools, and this is very important, is because it's so expensive to advertise jobs online, like on Seek or LinkedIn Jobs. It costs about $3,500 to advertise a job for 1 month on Seek. And for many of these startup employers, that's a huge amount of money. So they just don't do it. That is why the hidden job market in New Zealand and Australia is so big, because the vast majority of jobs are never advertised online. In fact, people that I work with, the big majority of them land jobs that were never ever advertised. That's the hidden job market. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of this so you can know where to look, and then I'm going into how to prepare to land your job in 2026. So on my screen here, I have a post that was just done a couple of days ago by Mark Hoare. He's a recruitment consultant in the construction industry, and he's saying that he is recruiting for especially QS or quantity surveyor jobs, roles on that wouldn't quite make it onto Seek. That's what he's saying. We don't advertise on Seek, and that they are filling their pools for roles for Christmas or after Christmas for next year. So this is very important to notice, and this is just one of those examples, but you can find them everywhere. Here's the tip. Find the recruiters in the market, if there are many recruiters in that market, and follow them, and you'll see things like this come through. You'll never see this opportunity or Seek or even in LinkedIn Jobs. This is just a post by a recruiter. Now, here is another one. I actually took a screenshot of it, but this is also a recruiter, Cara. She's in the tech industry, and she's saying this quarter we're seeing 82% of our placements from proactive search, not job ads. In other words, they're not advertising these jobs online. Never going to happen. Never going to be on Seek, never going to be on LinkedIn Jobs. You need to be in contact with the hiring managers or the recruiters. By the way, these are just recruiters, but hiring managers, it's actually 80% of the market. Recruiters form about 8 to 9% of the market in New Zealand especially. Okay, another one. If you just go on any of the job boards, you'll see what we call bulk ads. Now, a bulk ads is something that a company or a hiring manager or recruiter put up that try and attract multiple people. It's not just one job and one job ad, because they're paying for this ad. They're trying to attract as many people as possible. And I just did a quick search here and I came across literally like hundreds of them. At this time of year, you'll see a lot of this happening. This is a company this is a recruitment company actually, and they are saying future-proof your career, expressions of interest for 2026. So they're looking for data science and AI leadership and senior roles that's over $100,000 a year, $150,000, $200,000 a year. And they're looking for several roles here, expressions of interest. Now, this is on Seek. If you do this on Google, if you go into Jora, Indeed, at Zuna, any of those, you'll find literally hundreds of these posts in terms of expressions of interest. Let me go into LinkedIn here and do a live one, and I'll show you if we can find ones coming through for 2026. Now, this is a little bit early. This is end of October now, so you'll see them sort of towards the middle of November and beginning December. Before they shut down, they'll put these things out. So people are going to apply, and then that gets them into the pools of the companies or the recruiters. And when they come back to work, they just pick them from the pool. So here is your clue. You need to get into the pools. I'm going to show you in a minute what to do that. Let's just first look if we can see some of those coming through. We're going to go to posts here, and here you can see them. Expressions of interest. Oh, that's a school. Okay, here we go. Expressions of interest. Tonkin Taylor. That's a construction company looking for expressions of interest. And there's quite a bit of them. You just have to search through them and you'll see them coming through. Okay, so that's that. Now, what about getting ready for this? Let me share this on my screen. And this is very profound. This is the recruitment process for any employer or a recruiter. If they have a vacancy, they go to their pool first. Who do they already have available? So here's your first strategy. Direct approaches or the virtual door knock is what we do with our elite candidates, getting them into the pool. If a recruiter or an employer couldn't find someone that way, they're going to go to their network. You need to have a network built already of hiring managers and recruiters in your audience. And LinkedIn, 100 to 500 is a KPI if you want to work with me. That is where you're going to see posts like that, but that's also where you're going to have those relationships of being shoulder tapped out of your network. If a company couldn't find someone that way, they'll be posting on their website in a LinkedIn post like I've just shown you, or even in Facebook posts. If you're going to the Facebook groups of cities or towns around your area, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of posts there for jobs that are never on LinkedIn, and never on LinkedIn Jobs or never on Seek. So they informally advertise because they're trying to find a way to get people without having to spend money on a job ad. Their last resort, if they can't find someone, then they're going to put it on Seek, where they've got to pay $3,500 per job ad per month, and they're probably going to pay around $1,300 for a LinkedIn job ad, or they've got to get a recruiter to find someone, and that'll cost them between 15 and 30% of your first year salary. Hugely expensive. That is why it is so few recruiters that are recruiting in New Zealand, and the market is so small with recruiters because we have small companies, we're a small country, small economy, and they can't afford recruiters. So this is the overall process that employers follow, which means 3 strategies for you. Get into the pool, build a network out of the hiring managers, and follow them. And get into those pools, get in front of the hiring managers. But here's the trick. You can't just do that with a generic CV. You need to have a value profile. So a value profile is something that you've got to build before you start your job search. So let me take that one step further. The big overall process is this. Number 1, start your eligibility assessment process. If you're an international candidate, get that done. Know the visas you qualify for. Do your skills assessments. If you need to do your occupational registrations. Number 2, Make sure you've got your skills assessments done and know that that is part of your eligibility process. Number 3 is documents. You need to have your documents ready. If you don't know which documents you're going to need, you need to consult an immigration advisor to know which documents you're going to need for your visa application. Number 3, then you are job ready to search for a job. In the job search process, when we work with immigrants, we go through this process. It's a 3-step method where we take them through a process to help them land their jobs, and there is a guarantee. We work with them until they land their jobs, doesn't matter how long it takes. First, we're going to go in the market and find the ideal jobs for them, find the requirements, we find the employers for them. If you're doing this yourself, you've got to go and find those sponsors yourself. Then you've got to go and create a value profile, not just a CV, a profile that is absolutely your value proposition that demonstrates your value. I'll make another video about that sometime, how to do that. And then you've got to get that profile in front of those employers, get into their pool. It's the virtual door knock strategy that we use. Create a network of 500 or more hiring managers to see that profile. And there are other strategies as well. Those first 2 work very well, 60 to 80% success rate. And that is how people that we land with land their jobs following this 3-step process. If you want to know more about this process, or you want a one-on-one consultation with me where I can take you into deep into this process or this 3-step method, there should be a link around this video somewhere where you can book a free strategy consultation with me. But I hope this video was helpful for you in explaining why this time of year is an excellent time to start your job search in New Zealand, even in Australia, because of the market dynamics, the way that companies recruit and the way that recruiters recruit. And if you really target it and structure it, you'll be able to uncover all of these opportunities. This is why we are so busy this time of year, because we are getting our candidates into these pools, especially in the hidden job market. I hope this is valuable for you. Look for that link below if you want to book a one-on-one with me to go deeper into this 3-step process. Take care.